morning and welcome back to my channel. So we're currently in my living room and here we have Opal's tank. So I've not been terribly happy with how the bonsai tree has been developing. So today we're going to be redoing his tank. So the bonsai tank has been having a little bit of an issue with maintenance, and I know that I love creating bonsai trees. My problem with that is the bed of moss that I have set up. When cleaning the moss, I would usually use a suction kind of pipe, which means that all the dirt that is trapped underneath the bed will be removed. The only problem with kind of overgrown moss is that they are also getting sucked into the pipe, which means that you're creating a bit of a mess and the whole bed is kind of started to be lifted as well, and it's just not a great look and it's really hard to actually fix that. Secondly is the growth rate of the moss. And at the moment they are growing quite exponentially for some reason, and I'm not using any CO2 injection, but they just love to grow. For me to be trimming those bonsai trees every single week is a little bit of a pain. So I've decided that this layout will be very similar to the jungle type of layout that is in Rains's tank. So that just kind of means that when they are overgrown, it's not going to look terrible, and the most important thing is that the health of the Betta fish will be taken care of. So firstly, I must prepare Opal's holding tank so that he can stay in there comfortably while I take my time in designing and redoing his tank. I'm just giving it a quick wash and a scrub because it's been gathering dust sitting on my shelf for some time. Next, I'm just getting some old tank water into the cube mixed with some fresh water to make sure that the water parameter doesn't change too much for him. Now this next part for me is a crucial step. Here I'm just adding dried catappa leaves, also known as Indian almond leaves, into the cube. They have chemical healing properties which may naturally help fight off mild bacterial, fungal, or parasitic infections. While breeders use catappa leaves to induce breeding, here I'm using it to make Opal feel at home, and it also lowers the pH in the tank. Next, I'm starting the process of cleaning the old tank. That just means that I emptied out all the water and removed all the ornaments that's within the tank. I'm using just a normal sponge to do the overall cleaning of the tank, and I would usually follow it up by using a blade. Now the last part of the cleaning process is emptying all the sand, and this is probably the least of my favorite activity. Basically, we have just finished clearing up the old tank and we're just waiting for plants to arrive. Usually in Bali, you would order plants on the same day and they get delivered to you fresh. In London, I used to wait around 3 to 4 days for my plants to arrive. When you get the plants, they might be withered and they're not at their best state to be placed inside your aquascape. So I'm just really excited to be getting my new set of fresh plants. At this point, as we're taking a break, we wanted to start thinking about the new layout. And I know that the new layout is reliant heavily on the type of hardscapes that you have. For example, yesterday I started soaking my wood pieces, and in my head I've already started thinking about the kind of arrangement that I might do using those pieces. I wanted to use some river rocks. And the reason why is because of Opal, who's currently in his holding tank and he seems to be happy and chilled. It has really smooth edges, so that will avoid Opal getting stuck or scratched up using sharp-edged hardscape-like lava rocks. Other thing to consider is the sand. So I am using Yamaya sand, they call it over here, but basically it's a natural looking sand. It's kind of creamy, kind of orangey, light orange color. Now what I'm thinking at the moment is that my river rocks are gray and some are black. And I have smaller pebbles as well, which are a combination of white and cream. So in my head, I'm kind of replaying this, whether the color scheme might work or not, and it's really difficult to imagine until you try it out. So I think I will do just that later on. So I'm going to see how everything kind of like, you know, falls together in a piece, and if it doesn't work, then obviously I'll just take them out and think of something else. And I think the plants have just arrived, so let me go and grab that and I will show you exactly what they look like. It seems like the seller has been kind enough to give me a bonus plant, and I'm not sure what kind of plant that is yet. So if you guys know what it is, please drop it in the comments down below, and I'm sure most of you will know what these are. They are Java ferns, and they are my go-to plant, I have to say. These are some of the grey reef rocks that I mentioned earlier. I've also specifically asked the seller to supply me with a mixture of large and medium-sized rocks. When you receive your plants, just make sure that you look around and don't see any hitchhikers like I've seen here. They are really difficult to remove once they're in your tank, so snails for me is a pest, and I'd like to make sure that I remove all of them or make sure that the leaves don't contain any of their eggs before putting them into your tank. Now this next part is my favorite and is the most fun part of aquascaping. These wood pieces are like jigsaw puzzles for me. There are countless number of possibilities, and the most exciting part is that you're designing for your betta or whatever type of fish you are actually doing this aquascape for. I know that for my betta, I would like to have some nooks and crannies for him to explore and to hide from, you know, the hustling living room life that he's exposed to every single day. And I guess that is part of the problem of the bonsai tree layout. I just feel as if he's way too exposed. Over here, I'm actually attaching some of the woods and securing them using super glue just to make sure that they don't move around when I'm cleaning the tank. Next, I'm simply adding the sand. And this is a little bit messy, but you know what, it is quite enjoyable. As you can see here, I've pre-washed my Yamaya sand. They are notorious for being known to cloud the water. And I'm so impatient, so I just want to make sure that I don't have to wait too long for my water to clear up, so I'd rather clean the sand prior to use. Next step, placing the plants. Now this is where Aquascape comes to life. In this part of the process, I would recommend you taking a bit of time to assess exactly how you'd like to organize your plants, where the focal points will be, and if you're new to aquascaping, perhaps take a look at something called the golden ratio. An advice from me is to group the same type of plants together and to make sure that they look natural. Here you can see me sticking some of the plants onto the branches using super glue. As always, take extra care when you're using super glue because sometimes it doesn't end well. But I think that's a story for another day. If you see air bubbles like this in your base layer, please be sure to poke it and release the air. And this is the final result. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Of course, there's a learning part. This time round, I took my eyes off for a second, and this is what happened. So lesson learned, always pay attention. Thank you so much for watching right till the end. I hope you find this video useful. If you have any questions, please drop it in the comments below. It would be amazing if you would like, comment and share my video, and subscribe if you haven't already. It will really help my channel grow. I post my content every Saturday, so please turn on your notifications to be notified of my latest post. Thanks again and see you in the next video.